My example yarn is an organic cotton. You can see I've used it masses of times. It holds up really well. If it gets too bad, I whack off the starter chunk. But this is organic cotton, worsted weight. No clue what size needle it is. Whatever suits the yarn. This is the tip off a boy needle that the cable is no longer usable, and it makes a really good cast on for this particular weight of yarn. If you've seen some of the other stuff I've done, you know I've used all sorts of things. Polycord, not baling twine, fishing leader, other scraps of yarn, whatever works. This but happens to work really well for this particular size of yarn. So here's my cast on. I want my I-cord for my neck edge to be 4 stitches, so I'm going to do a 5-cord I-cord or a 5-stitch I-cord when I build the sweater. It's going to take up 1 whole stitch. That's only going to leave me 4 stitches for the I-cord. That'll become clear as we go along. This is part 1 of the I-cord neck edge, and I wanted to show you where I am placing the gourd pins when I place the markers. I am placing the gourd pin over, do you see, this is my last stitch. I am placing it on this column of stitches. So it's going to go right through here. That's my first marker. Then you can see this is the stitch marked, and then I'm going to skip 3. That's 1, 2, 3, and this stitch right here is the next one that's going to get a marker. Okay, here's our I-cord. This should be 26 stitches. Here are the markers. When the markers are set, they take up a row of their own. The first row is the first marker. Then I knit 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and then I set a marker in the next one. Then I knit 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, set a marker, 2, set a marker, 2, set a marker. Then it's 1, 1, and then this last one, which is the shoulder, is 4. So this is the start. Once we have done that and knit 1 row, we're going to do our first turn row. The first turn row is the only one that's really peculiar, because we're going to knit 4. Oh, I want to do it this way so I have my stitches on the needle the way I need them. And I did that wrong because the stitches are already on the needle wrong. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to knit 4. When you do I-cord, when you do this first stitch, if you tighten it up, your I-cord is going to be less squidgy. I always knit that first stitch and give it a nice good tug. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to slip this last stitch, and I want to slip it so that the leading leg is, yeah, I'm good. Okay, now I'm going to pick up this bar right here. No, I'm going to pick up both bars, and I'm going to do a turn stitch. I'm going to slide that stitch across. I'm going to put a marker on. Hopefully I can find something that's not too awfully big. I'm going to put a marker on, and I am going to knit across my I-cord. From now on, this piece of I-cord will be knit in this direction every single time. I have a rooster who likes to stand under the awning and crow because he can really sound important. So there's that. Now I'm going to slip the I-cord stitches and the turn stitch. These 4 I-cord stitches, this is a turn stitch, and then I'm going to knit this one, and I'm going to knit this one. This is the front edge of my shoulder. I'm going to take this marker off. Now this next 4 stitches are my shoulder. 1. Now you notice I'm picking up both, I'm staying in this column of stitches and I'm picking up both legs of that stitch. That's why my I-cord ends up being 4 stitches, because I have just taken away one of those stitches and made it my sit ubu. Alright, so here's my 4th shoulder. Now I'm going to turn in this stitch. So here we go. I just wrap my yarn the opposite direction and I slip that stitch, and that is done. I'm doing no increases on what to you will be the wrong side row. I just reverse my stitch direction, but you are actually going to turn the work. Assuming you don't do what I do. Alright, so here we go. These all get knit and then slipped, and then I do another row. Doing the same thing. I'm going to slip these. Slip the 4 I-cord stitches and my slip stitch and the marker, everything to the marker. Now I'm going to do my increase. I'm going to pick this bar up right here. That's going to be my increase and slip. Flip the marker back, and then I'm going to knit to the end of my I-cord. That's it. I've knit to the end of my I-cord. That's my turn row. If you do it this way, you have 2 I-cord rows for every body row, and you won't have your I-cord being too short for your work. So here we go. I've got to mark my 4 stitches. Those are my 4 stitches. I should have put, those are my 4 shoulder stitches. Let me grab 2. Two markers here. So I'm going to knit to my, these are my 4. I'm going to knit to my 4. I'm going to reach over and I'm going to increase in the purl bump. Do you see I've picked the purl bump up? That's my increase. I need to set my front marker, front shoulder marker. Then I knit my shoulder. I've got 4 stitches on my shoulder because I'm doing a modified something or other. So there's that. Then I'm putting my the back of my, this is the contiguous part of my shoulder, so I'm putting the back marker on for the contiguous part of my shoulder, and I'm reaching back and I'm grabbing the purl bump, and I'm going to knit the purl bump. I'm going to knit my turn stitch. That's the stitch I used to turn directions last time, and then I'm going to knit to my next gourd marker, which is right here, and that's where my turn is going to be. There's my turn stitch, and I slip that back. Let me get rid of this. So I have done 1 increase on the front and 1 increase on the back for the contiguous part of the shoulder. This is Conti-Rag, so there's more stuff going on here. And I knit all the way back to the very end of my work, including the I-cord. Just slip the markers as you go. Oops, I need to wrap the yarn the other way so I have the stitches set the way I want them. Okay, and you slip those 5 stitches again and the marker, and you reach back across the marker and increase in the stitch below. Then you slip that stitch and the marker and knit to the end, And that is, you're creating I-cord every single time. You're creating a shoulder on the right side row. This next row we will have enough stitches front and back to start the shoulder, or start the front and back raglan. So we'll come back to that.